Imagine a princess, born not in castles, but under the warm Hawaiian sun. A girl caught between two worlds, royal blood in her veins, yet powerless to save her kingdom. While the world forgot her, Hawaii never did. This is not just the story of a princess, it's the heartbreaking tale of a stolen throne, a lost island, and the silent courage of a girl named Kaʻiulani, America's last princess. And tonight, you'll finally hear her story. Let's go back to the island of Oahu, way back to 1875. The sun's warm, the palm trees sway, and a baby girl is born into two very different worlds. Her name, Kaʻiulani. Sounds pretty, right? She'd grow up to be even more graceful than her name. Her mom was Princess Like, part of Hawaii's royal family. Her dad, a Scottish businessman named Archibald Cleghorn. Yup, imagine a royal palace with bagpipes in the background. That's her childhood. Kaʻiulani grew up at a beautiful estate called Ainahau in Waikik. Think gardens full of bright flowers, peacocks casually walking around like they own the place, and a little girl learning to ride horses, play piano, and write poetry. All before most kids learn to tie their shoes. But Kaʻiulani wasn't just a princess with pretty dresses and fancy tea. Even as a child, she was smart, kind, and had this quiet strength. People said she had the wisdom of her ancestors and a little bit of Scottish fire too. She knew she was special, not in an "I'm better than you" way, but in a "someday I might have to protect my people" kind of way. And oh boy, was she right. But for now, little Kaʻiulani was just enjoying the breeze, the songs of native birds, and reading books under the shade of mango trees. A royal child, a mixed heritage, a life that started in paradise, but wouldn't stay that way for long. So, while Kaʻiulani was growing up under the Hawaiian sun, her kingdom, well, it was starting to feel a little shaky. Hawaii wasn't just a pretty vacation spot. Back then, it was a full-on independent kingdom. It had a queen, a government, and yep, even international respect. But guess who else had their eye on Hawaii? Rich American sugar planters. And surprise, surprise, they didn't just want sugar. They wanted power. While Queen Liliuokalani, Kaʻiulani's aunt, was taking the throne, the sugar guys were whispering things like, "Hey, wouldn't it be easier if we ran this place?" Yeah, not subtle. Tension kept building. Treaties, pressure, sneaky land grabs. America was slowly wrapping its fingers around the islands. Meanwhile, Kaʻiulani, just 13, was sent off to England to study. Her family wanted her to be well-educated, smart, strong, ready to lead one day. But it wasn't easy. New country, cold weather, weird food, no mango trees, no peacocks, just long letters home and homesick nights. Still, Kaʻiulani kept going. She learned French, she studied literature, she even practiced royal manners. But deep down, she missed her islands. Back home, Hawaii was changing fast. Powerful people were moving in, and the crown she was born to inherit, it was already slipping. The kingdom was still standing, but it was leaning. And the storm? Oh, it was coming. While Kaʻiulani was in England, sipping tea and trying to pretend she liked the weather, things back home, yeah, they went off the rails. In 1893, a group of American businessmen, the rich sugar guys again, decided they were done playing nice. With help from US Marines, yep, actual soldiers, they overthrew Queen Liliuokalani. Just like that, no royal duel, no fair vote, just boom. The Hawaiian monarchy was gone. And where was Kaʻiulani during all this? Across the ocean, reading the news in shock. Imagine being 17, far from home, and finding out your throne's been stolen. Not cool. But she didn't cry in a corner. Nope. Kaʻiulani packed her bags, grabbed her courage, and headed to Washington, D.C. And there, in a country that barely knew her name, she stood in front of cameras and reporters and said, "I'm not just a girl in a dress. I'm the crown princess of a nation you're trying to erase." Okay, she said it a little more politely. But still, she spoke truth to power, and people noticed. But politics, they're messy and slow and full of backroom deals. Despite her speeches, her bravery, and her royal presence, nothing changed. America didn't give the throne back. Kaʻiulani went home to an island that didn't feel like hers anymore. A princess without a crown, a leader without a kingdom. So, the throne was gone, the crown taken, the speeches ignored. But Kaʻiulani didn't throw a royal tantrum. Nope. She went home with grace, still standing tall, even with a broken heart. Back in Hawaii, things felt different. The air was still warm, the ocean still sang. But her people, they were hurting. Her aunt, the queen, was now just Lili Wakalani, and Kaʻiulani, just a girl walking through her childhood garden as a guest. She tried to stay hopeful. She painted, wrote poetry, rode her horse along the beach. She smiled for the public, but behind the scenes, you could tell. Her spirit was dimming. Her health started to decline. Doctors blamed it on fever or inflammation, but many believed it was deeper than that. Like her heart just couldn't carry the weight of all that loss. There was a brief moment of light, a quiet romance with Prince David Kaʻiulani. People whispered about a royal wedding, maybe even a new hope. But like most good things in her life, it faded before it could bloom. Kaʻiulani spent more and more time alone at Ainahau. Her peacocks still wandered the gardens, loyal, colorful, and quiet, just like her. She didn't wear a crown, but everything about her, the way she spoke, moved, even sat, still felt royal, like she hadn't given up, just accepted her fate. Kaʻiulani didn't live to see old age. In 1899, at just 23 years old, she passed away, quietly, in her sleep. Some say it was pneumonia, others say it was heartbreak. Maybe it was both. Maybe when a crown is taken and your people suffer, the soul just gets tired. All across Hawaii, people cried, flags were lowered, shops closed. Thousands came to say goodbye. Even though she never ruled, they called her their princess until the very end. At her funeral, there were flowers everywhere, soft white petals falling like rain, and behind them, her peacocks stood still. Even they seemed to know. Their queen was gone. But here's the thing. Kaʻiulani may have died young, but her story didn't. Today, her name still lives. In schools, parks, statues, and hearts, people still visit Ainahau, where the wind feels sacred and the peacocks still wander in memories. She never raised a sword. She never gave a war cry. But she fought with grace, with dignity, and with her voice. Even in the face of a giant country, she didn't flinch. Some say she was America's last princess. Others say she was Hawaii's heart. Maybe she was both. So tonight, as the world quiets down, maybe somewhere, a soft breeze moves through the palm trees, and the spirit of Kaʻiulani walks barefoot on the sand, peaceful at last.